Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another daily update video. Just as a quick reminder, let's take a look at how the stock market closed yesterday. You can see a mixture of green and red on the board. Big tech had a good day, ending up green. The semi-sector was mostly red, except for Texas Instruments, Qualcomm, some other tickers. But let's get right into it. Today, we're going to take a look again at Riot Blockchain, ticker symbol RIOT or Riot. As always, we're going to take a look at the last trading day to see how the stock traded. I'm going to show you two articles on Bitcoin that have some bullish, some bearish sentiment about Bitcoin in general, which is going to affect stocks like Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group or MARA. We'll do some updated technical analysis like we always do, and I'm going to show you the last day's worth of option flow data to see what the big money investors were doing on Riot Blockchain. So let's get right into it. Looking at Riot on the Robinhood graph, you can see huge day on Riot. If you haven't seen my other video on Marathon Patent Group that I put out yesterday, very similar. These stocks, Riot and MARA, are basically trading in tandem with Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin's surging, so are these stocks because they are Bitcoin mining companies. Take a look at this. Riot from the get-go was already up almost 9% right off the bell and just slowly melted up all day long, closing the day up 17%. But take a look at this. Up another over 8% after hours. So on the week right now, Riot is up over 52, just about 53%. On the month, you would have doubled your money in a month, almost up 200%. The past 3 months, up over 813%. And take a look at this. On the year, you are just about up 2,000% if you are a long-term shareholder of Riot Blockchain. Let's take a look to see how juicy the option premiums are right now. If you wanted to sell some options or run the wheel strategy or wanted to do some weekly options on Riot, take a look at this. The at the money put right now would net you $453 in premium for only $2,800 in collateral. These blank spaces are there because Riot rose after hours and you can't trade options after hours. So these slots will likely get price data once the market opens on Monday morning. But just do the return on risk calculation. So $453 on $2,800 in capital that would be required. That would be a return on risk of 16.2%. Just absolute crazy, juicy premiums, especially for a weekly option on Riot. Now, Riot, if you're debating whether to trade Riot or MARA, the one nice thing about Riot is that they have weekly options, whereas Marathon Patent Group or MARA only has monthlies for right now. I really do hope that they get weekly options soon, but Riot will let you get more expiration dates if you're debating which one you want to trade. But those premiums are really juicy. Let me show you this article that I came across on Yahoo Finance from CoinDesk. And this is called Bitcoin is Less Risky the Higher It Goes, says investor Bill Miller on CNBC. So he's actually saying the more this stock or Bitcoin, I should say, gets pumped, the less risky it is. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Let's see why he's saying that. And some of the data that he presents in this article is actually really interesting because some large investment firms, such as MicroStrategy, they've scooped up over 70,000 Bitcoin with plans to buy more. And London-based asset manager Rougher Investment has dumped $740 million into Bitcoin towards the end of 2020. There's other more popular companies also getting to the mix like Square and PayPal. In the third quarter of 2020, Square reported a record $1 billion in Bitcoin revenue via Cash App. PayPal, they announced plans to support Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in October, and they had to remove their wait list because the demand was so overwhelming. So right now, they're saying if you're waiting for a pullback, it already happened. They said it happened in the first quarter. You could have bought Bitcoin at $4,000 in the first quarter of 2020. And now they're saying that it's rallied more than 300% in 2020 and an additional 40% already in 2021. To me, this is the best paragraph in this article. And he says, you have to expect that it's going to be very, very volatile. If you can't take the volatility, you probably shouldn't own it. But its volatility is the price you pay for its performance. And I want to say that again. Its volatility is the price you pay for its performance. And that statement is true not only for Bitcoin, but for any stock. when you see people like myself or other people talking about juicy premiums, the premiums are juicy because of that volatility. So everything in the stock market or even the crypto market now is a risk to reward ratio. If you want higher rewards, you're going to have to accept higher risks. And if you don't want those high risks, then don't make those plays. That's okay. Everybody has their own level of risk aversion. Some people are more aggressive traders. Some people are more conservative traders. And that's perfectly fine. But you have to figure out what's safe for you. The golden rule that I like is, if I make a trade, am I going to be able to sleep at night? If the answer is yes, then I'm okay making that trade. But if I make a trade and now I'm so stressed out that I'm checking my app or checking the stock market every 5 minutes, I can't sleep at night, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to check what my tickers are doing, or 7 a.m. to check pre-market trading, that probably wasn't a good trade for you because you're too nervous about it. So that's kind of the benchmark that I use personally in terms of determining if I'm okay or not with making a specific trade. Here's another article out of Yahoo Finance, and this one says, analyst who nailed Bitcoin's $40,000 level says a 50% collapse could come next. So let's see if we agree with this. But he's saying that there was an analyst at Fundstrat Global Advisors, and they upped their price target to 40,000 in 2021, and less than 10 days after that prediction, Bitcoin had already delivered, rising 40% with ease. As I'm making this video, Bitcoin is around $41,000 already. Of course, you can trade Bitcoin and other crypto on the weekends and after hours, 24/7, 365 basically. And again, this article also says Bitcoin is a hyper volatile asset. And he's saying that his roadmap for risk assets this year is that stocks would be pretty explosive out of the gate and peak sometime either in late January, but as late as April. So he thinks that the stock market is going to peak either the end of this month or somewhere between end of January to April. And he's saying the S&P 500 is going to peak around $4,000. So that would be a SPY 400. So he thinks that's the top, and that's when the market is going to have a correction. He says if the S&P falls 10%, then Bitcoin is also going to have a huge drawdown, which could be 40 to 50%. I don't know about you. Everybody has gone being crypto crazy lately, and it does feel like we are a bit toppy, not just in the stock market, but in the cryptocurrency market. In fact, just yesterday, I saw a post on Wall Street Bets saying that they think we're in a bubble now. And there was a reply to that comment saying, if Wall Street Bets says we're in a bubble, then we are definitely in a bubble. So I have been scaling back on my trades. I know members of my Discord server have also been scaling back. So I'm playing it a little bit safe in case we do have a drawdown. If you see my position on Marathon Patent Group scrolling below, you can see I've played it super safe. Marathon would have to drop 74% for me to get assigned on my cash good puts. And even if we have a drawdown, I think having a stock fall 74% in 5 trading days, that's a lot. It's possible, but I don't think it's probable. In fact, my trade had a 96% chance of profitability. So let me know, do you agree or disagree with these articles? What do you think? Analysts at JP Morgan, take a look at this. They're saying that Bitcoin could reach as high as $146,000. They think Bitcoin could basically quadruple from where it is right now, which is absolute craziness. Leave me a comment below to what you think the top value of Bitcoin is going to be before we have a correction soon. Let's go to TradingView and take a look at the TradingView chart on Riot. So here we are. You can see my TA from the prior days, basically pink arrows that are going just straight up and to the right. And I'm going to continue that with the overall trend being up. But I do think we are due for a pullback. We've had 4 big green days in a row. We were just up another 17% and another 8% after hours, like I showed you on the last trading day. We're currently trading around $26.59. But what scares me the most is take a look at this RSI curve. The RSI is at about 86. The last time we were even that high, or even close to being that high, we always had red days afterward. Take a look at this. On December 22nd, the RSI was about 76, so lower than it was. And we had 2 small red days in a row before we kept going up. We go back all the way to December 7th. The RSI at that time was again around 79. And you can see green day that day, 2 small red days to follow before we continued back up. Take a look at this. On November 17th, the RSI was about 81, 82. And again, green day that day, the next day was red. I would be surprised if come Monday morning, we don't have a pullback on some of these crypto stocks like Riot and Mara. That's going to be my prediction for early next week, is maybe 1, maybe 2 days of a little bit of a pullback, but then we continue up and to the right because the cryptocurrency craze has no signs of slowing down right now. Let's take a look at the Trade UI option flow data to see if the big money investors agree with me. So here's the Trade UI platform that I use to get my option flow data. And Riot, as we can see, taking a look at the last trading day on January 8th, there were 34 call sweeps that came through and only 7 puts. So just bullish in general. We take a look at some of these option flows that came through. You can see green boxes represent call options that were bought. Red boxes represent put options that were bought. Take a look at some of these big orders. This is for exactly $1 million. But the thing I will worry you about is this is for a call option that has a strike price of $7, and it's a yearly option. This expires January of 2022. So somebody is betting, or basically hedging their bets, that Riot is going to have a pullback in the next year. Take a look at this right underneath it. This is $500,000 worth of options, and this is a $35 strike. So someone is betting $500,000 that by June 18th, Riot is going to get to $35 or higher. So very bullish bet there. Here's another one for $778,000. This is, again, another hedge. We have a call option that's in the money for only a $10 strike. But look at this. This is so far out. This is a January 2023 strike. So someone thinks that Riot is going to have a pullback in the next 2 years. But that is super far to expiration. But take a look at all the big money that came in. A lot of these options are for 6 figures, for $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, and a good decent amount of them are very bullish calls. Here's another 35 strike call, $285,000 worth, that just came in towards the end of the day, 3 minutes before market close. So I think we're still overall bullish overall in terms of the big money traders. There's some January 8th or weekly options that expired yesterday. There's some January 15th. Again, these are 2 puts, so somebody's expecting a little bit of a pullback. This one is a 25 strike in the money. This is also a little bit bearish or a hedge. But overall, here's a 31 strike January 15th call option. So this is very bullish. A lot of these are bullish calls. There are a few hedges in there, whether they're put options that were bought or whether they were in the money calls. Let me know what you think. I personally think that we will have a little bit of a pullback on these crypto stocks when the market opens on Monday. As always, make sure you join our Discord server if you're not into already. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Reddit, follow me on Instagram, follow me on StockTwits. But most importantly, I hope you had a green trading week, and I hope next week is green for you as well. Happy trading.